Welcome back. Let's talk about how you speak. When it comes to effective communications, your voice is one of your most important tools. Outside of acting and voice acting, most people don't explain how you can use your voice to communicate. This is something that is often overlooked, and it seems, I don't know, more of a entertainment technique. However, you have an audience in front of you. They have an expectation. We talked about that a little bit in the last video when it came to surroundings and your sort of nonverbal communication. Now, when it comes to using your voice effectively, what does that mean? Different target audiences are going to respond differently to your voice. Your communications objectives can also be assisted by using your voice effectively. Most of my videos, you'll hear me talk very, very quickly. You'll hear me talk informally. You will hear my cadence change significantly. And in a lot of cases, I am slurring over my syllables. I'm not really concerned with how many ands are in my sentence, or if I'm using very, very, very too quickly, or if my face is moving, or any of these other things that I can use because you, as an audience, are fine with that. You're okay with me just kind of talking to you face to face, person to person. This is how we talk when we're excited about something. And most of the concepts I talk to you about, I'm really excited about. So you get this rapid fire cadence. Most YouTube videos, you can listen to them at 1.5, 2 times. My videos, I'm guessing you can't, because I speak very, very quickly. Is that appropriate for every audience? Are there moments where I need to slow down to emphasize a point? Are there times where I need to project my voice, where I need to be louder, where I need you to understand that what I'm saying right now is important? I changed my voice. I changed my inflection. I also raised my volume just a little bit and made every word jump at you. I was almost throwing words at you, wasn't I? Now I've come down a little bit. I'm not as severe. I'm not emphasizing as much as I used to in an aggressive and assertive tone. In this case, I am still emphasizing everything I say. I've slowed down considerably, haven't I? I am enunciating better. I'm not using and, or. I've avoided those. Why? Because now I'm speaking more formally. I am not speaking as formally as I could be. However, I want this voice to project a higher level of professionalism. I'm speaking to an audience, and I potentially am saying some things that are very dense. I need to slow down. I need to give you an opportunity, potentially, to ask questions. So I'll use intentional pauses. Each pause is an opportunity for someone to look like they have a question. And if I see that, unfortunately on video, I don't get the chance to see that very often. But in-person communications, or in the case where I can see all of the faces on a Zoom meeting, I want to use intentional pauses. I gave you an opportunity to ask a question. I did not interrupt the flow of what it is that I'm saying. However, there's a space there, isn't there? There's an opportunity for you to ask a question, to put your hand up. That's important. In many presentations, I want to create spaces, and I do that with my voice. I can also articulate. I can begin to enunciate better. I can begin to talk to you in a more formal language. That's another effective communication tactic. When I try to establish credibility with an audience who expects me to sound educated, then I have to use a different cadence. I have to use better enunciation. I need to pick my words carefully. So I've presented different styles of using my voice. You can also pair your voice with rich language, with storytelling. This is important to do when you present data. You are, in many cases, telling a story, walking people down a thought process using data and visualizations. The richer the language that you use, the more impact your voice, and varying your voice a little bit, getting excited, leaning in, your eyebrows will go up, or you'll allow more facial expressions to happen when you're sharing something really interesting, when you're giving an insight. Your excitement and the excitement in your voice can translate to your audience. They should be just as excited, right? If you're presenting something cool, if you're presenting something interesting, if you're presenting something that's going to make them money or answer a question they've had forever, should you do it in a deadpan voice? You'll be far more effective if you can tailor your voice to the concept that you're delivering. Are you building anticipation for something cool that's about to happen? Are you setting them up? I'm going to get into this later, and it's going to be something very interesting. Or are you at the point in your presentation where you have to slow down because you're in dense material? When you're in dense material, should there be a level of entertainment that you include? Again, you can have a bit of entertainment in your prepared presentation, but your voice has to match. A lot of delivering a joke is timing. You hear that a lot, but it's also your voice. If your voice doesn't sell it, the audience won't react the way you want them to. And you can tell any story you want to, but if your voice doesn't match the story, if you're not getting excited at the appropriate times, if you're not slowing down and creating pauses in space for people to ask questions at the right time, you're going to get people doing this. And you may not know it. In this work from home era, you may not see all of the people whose eyes are glossing over. You may not see people who turn off their video, get up and walk away. And that happens in presentations a lot. You can lose your audience if your voice isn't entertaining during some of those very, very dry times. And if you don't use your voice to get people excited, because they should be. We're data scientists. We do cool stuff. We present some really, really interesting findings. We support some of the assumptions that companies have had forever, but they've never had the evidence to act on. We present some really interesting and important, exciting findings. Get excited. Why not? Your excitement feeds into their excitement. You setting up for a key reveal, for a cool graphic, sharing your excitement, sharing your passion. Use your voice to do that. So when we're talking about communications, what are we really talking about? We're talking about a whole ecosystem of tools that you can use. In the first video, we talked about background. We talked about the intangibles, the things that have nothing to do with what you're saying. Things like how you dress. In this video, I talked about using your voice for different causes, using different types of vocal patterns, almost as if you're a voice actor, almost as if you are a professional entertainer. Those are all important little things that you would think, why would I want to learn that? Well, because they'll help you deliver better presentations. You'll be a more entertaining speaker and you'll get booked a whole lot more. You will be better at presenting to different audiences and you'll be more effective using just these things that people don't often talk about in association with technical communications. Using all of your tools, you're going to become a more effective communicator. Next video, let's talk about creating messages. This is now how you're going to deliver messages that are impactful. See you next time.